Alright, let's review this one more time.
Hello, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel. And I've actually really enjoyed doing these 3 videos, so I'll just tell you what they are before I get all enthusiastic. But these 3 videos make up a little group of videos that are basically telling you about my Cartoonist collection. It's the biggest part of my book collection, probably, if you look at something specific. And I've been collecting it most of my life. And yeah, we are getting to the point where we're looking at the people that I've collected religiously. So anything I see, I'll buy it. We've touched on a few of them. So there has been some Far Side Gary Larson books in previous videos on this, and the other 2 videos also featured Dan Puraro's Bizarro books as well. And to be fair, I am a completist with Claude Serre as well, the French cartoonist. But let's get this last lot done. So this is where we talk about the New Yorker. So let's do that first, actually. That's over here. And we'll see how we get on. Oh, this has just fallen out of that collection. So this is a farewell book called Top Dog. I've actually got a few different books. Oh, I've also got the Hoffnung books. They're in the loft still. So I've got about 5 books of Hoffnung's cartoons as well. So if you know anything about that, they're kind of music related. So I don't know why they've been separated, but I've got those Hoffnung books as well. It's just occurred to me. But I've got some farewell books as well. So I've got about 3. I think got this one and a couple of others. So there we go. But anyway, the New Yorker book of even more cat cartoons, all new cat cartoons. So like Rosie was moaning in the last video, we got more cat cartoons there. And just to kind of back that up, there's the New Yorker book of cat cartoons there, and New Yorker book of Doctor cartoons. I got lots of New Yorker books. The New Yorker book of literary cartoons. So you got to know the reference to make for it to be funny. This is the New Yorker Yahoo book of cartoons. So this is about social media and stuff and the internet. And I think it was done at the beginning of all that period as well. So it's a little bit more innocent in that sense. They should do a follow up. This is New Yorker Cats, but this is like an address book, but it's got cat cartoons in there as well. So this is another one I've bought on holiday. So this is bought in Spain, and it's a New Yorker collection from Spain, which was a really lovely find. I was very excited to see that. So I don't know if this makes sense if you've seen the other 2 videos, but if I go on holiday, I like to bring back a souvenir, which is like a cartoonist book from that country. That's what I like to do if I can. So I've shown you Spanish and Italian and French books, I think, from the visits there, and also from LA. When my Woody Allen book I bought from LA as well. So there's the New Yorker cartoon album from 1975 to 1985. Again, another great find. That cost me 20 quid. Woo! And then the New Yorker album of drawings from 1925 to 1975. How much does that cost me? Oh, that only cost me 3 quid. That was a good find. So clearly, whoever sold that to me didn't realise I'd even spend more than that on it. And then this was a recent purchase. Very funny ladies. The New Yorker's Women Cartoonists. That's edited by Lisa Donnelly. Just quickly, Peter Arno is one of the New Yorker cartoonists, and I've managed to find, these are really rare, so books that are by Peter Arno. So The Man in the Shower, and this one's just called Peter Arno. This is going to fall on my foot, isn't it? It's going to work. That's right. Peter Arno, just called Peter Arno, and his style's quite interesting. I'll open it up so you can see it. I like the way he draws. Very, very old-fashioned way of drawing. They drew a lot like that in those days. But there's another guy actually that again I don't know where that book's gone, but he's called Folks, Folkes, and I've got a book by him as well. But this is the big thing I've got from the New Yorker. This is the complete cartoons of the New Yorker. This was very expensive. It's one of my treasured possessions, and it's a great book. But it also includes a DVD which has got 70,000 cartoons on the DVD, which is quite something. But yeah, it's a fantastic book that covers all sorts of different things, and the great cartoonist of the New Yorker. Right, so that's the New Yorker. Let's have a look. We go from left to right, I think. Right, this is in the cartoonist bit because ultimately he's an illustrator that's hugely influenced by cartoonists, and he's more of a cartoonist than like a graphic novel kind of reference. So this is The Art of Tim Burton. This is a very heavy, huge book, very expensive. I even kept it sealed for years, and then I opened it up for a video I did on Tim Burton, Edward Gorey, Gain Wilson and Charles Addams. So I opened the book up so I could talk about it, and it's a brilliant book, and it's for any Tim Burton fan, then you know you get. Oh, I've got that one tonight, but yeah, it's a really good book for Tim Burton fan. Yeah. Okay. One of Tim Burton's big influences is Edward Gorey, and these are two collections of Edward Gorey books. There's 3 in all. There's Amphi Gorey, and if you have a look, it's literally his books that have been put into this one collection. And then Amphi Gorey 2 is the other one I've got, but I know there is another one. So again, it's his stories collected. This is another compilation, and this is where we're going to get into Gain Wilson, because he's one of the editors. Gain Wilson. George Booth is an important cartoonist as well, actually. So there we go. Animals, animals, animals. This is just a collection of different animal-related cartoons. So excellent for someone like me who collects that kind of thing. I think they're safe. I'm going to not do anything, but I'm going to mend that one. But yeah. Okay, so Gain Wilson. This was the first book I had by him, so I am an enormous fan. I mean, I absolutely love what he does. So, Is Nothing Sacred? It's the first thing I had. I had it when I was about 14, something like that. And I've been collecting his stuff ever since, and they're very hard to find, extremely hard to find. So, Is Nothing Sacred? The Best of Gain Wilson. Look at that one. And Gain Wilson, his collection called Out There, which was quite new actually. It's only published, I don't know, about when was it? I don't know, when was it? Why don't I just look? Why don't I look? Well, because I don't want to make this go on forever. Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, it's going to take you ages. Just crack on. This is called the Monster Collection. So again, this is like a hardback kind of paperback kind of size, which is quite nice. I like it like that. I like more like that, please. That's cool. The Monster Collection. The Man in the Cannibal Pot. That's an old collection that again, sort of trade paperback size. Very rare that was. These are all rare though. It's got to be said. Still the Weird World of Gain Wilson, another paperback collection of his stuff. This is an interesting one because this is an illustrated mystery. This is a kind of a novel that he wrote that he illustrated as well, and it's a bit mad, and I really liked it. And it's called Eddie Decco's Last Caper. It's a detective thing with a really weird ending. It's really cool. So, Gain Wilson. And then these last three, you've got Even Weirder, one of his bigger collections. And then two that I absolutely love. There's one called And Then We'll Get Him. And then I Paint What I See. Okay, so that's Gary Wilson. Quick pause in between these great favourites, because this is actually a favourite, but it's not a big collection or anything. These are only 2 books. But the first book, called The Bus, is one of my all-time favourite books. I love this book so much, and I've talked about it in other videos as well. I absolutely love this book, and there was The Bus too. They first appeared in the magazine called Heavy Metal. And yeah, The Bus, absolutely amazing. Really funny, really unique, and just quite odd, but fantastic. So The Bus and The Bus 2. Mark O'Hare did these awesome dog-related books. I think they're awesome. So the first one was Citizen Dog. If you're a dog lover and you quite like the idea of having a comic strip kind of book, then you'll love Citizen Dog. Definitely go for it and get it. It's really good. Mark O'Hare. He draws for animation films now, I think. The second one was this one, which was Dog's Best Friend. I just love his style of drawing. I really love it. And then D is for Dog. So again, really cool. I really love that kind of drawing. So that's the Mark O'Hare books. I love those Mark O'Hare books. Okay, so we're on to Hunt Emerson. Hunt Emerson, he's someone I've collected since I was about 13, 14. And I've actually, I know him now, and we've emailed back and forth, and he's done some images for me. I'm trying to describe it in a way that doesn't sound twatty. So basically, I commissioned him to do a bunch of stuff for me. So he's done 6 album covers for Bemis, and he's done 2 book covers as well for me. So he did the book cover for the Brown and Yelp Gang, and he's also done the cover for the sequel, the Brown and Yelp Gang Go to Pieces. So I'm really honoured that we've had that sort of relationship, which is cool. But I'll just show you some of the things I've got by him, because I basically buy anything he's done. And that's this lot. So he first appeared in the Knockabout collections, like 7 Deadly Sins, which has got Alan Moore in there as well. And it's just an awesome collection. So 7 Deadly Things from Knockabout Comics, and then Hell on Earth issue as well, which is when the Hunt Emerson one is amazing. It's the Maxillian one, and his story is just absolutely amazing. When he goes to hell, it's just fantastic. So Hell on Earth issue, and then once you get into Hunt Emerson's own stuff, you've got Calculus Cat, which is like his anti-television character. You've got his version of Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, which is awesome. I love the poem anyway, and I love his version of that. Casanova's Last Stand, which is all about... I'll just show you the inside of some of them. That's how he draws. Hot Jazz, which is a bigger collection, quite recently published actually, of Maxillian's stuff, which does include some of the other things that are in the other ones. There's Aliens Ain't My Trousers, which is all about all the different things he did for 40 in Times, which was like a unexplained kind of magazine. Lives of the Great Occultists, which is one he's done with someone else, isn't it? Yeah, Kevin Jackson did the text, but it's illustrated by Hunt Emerson. Another Maxillian one, Jazz Funnies. That was the first one I bought that was just him. Rapid Reflexes, which is like a random collection of his stuff, which is really, really good. Lady Chatterley's Lover, which is really funny. His version of it's really funny, and I just love the fact it's like by Hunt Emerson and D.H. Lawrence. This is a choose your own adventure. You are Margaret Thatcher, so it's basically a big parody of Thatcher and what she did and all that. And I love caricaturists anyway, so it's all good. And then Oh, there's this was another one that's relatively new. Dante's Inferno. He did that quite recently, so certainly within the last, well, definitely in the last 10 years, maybe the last 5 years. I'm not sure. Dante's Inferno, and then Goodbye God. This was definitely this was more recent than Dante's Inferno, I think. There's another one of his recent ones. This is an illustrated exploration of science versus religion. And then there's some comic things which don't really fit into his books yet, which is like his character Puss Puss and Thunder Dogs, and also his Firkin stuff. So he did illustrations for some adult magazines with this Firkin character. So I've got some of that stuff because I'm a completist. And then just the last bit, the Festival Ritual, which is a very short book he did, which is also a bit of fun. So that's Hunt Emerson. Now we're on to there's the zoology one from Sarah, which I mentioned earlier. Okay, we've got a little bit to go. We're nearly there. I'm running out of battery as well, so hopefully we can get somewhere with this. There's the Best of Bizarro, so there's some more Bizarro here. Volume 2. There's Life is Strange and So Are You, which is another Bizarro collection by Dan Ferraro. And then there's something that's a little bit more of an investigation into Dan Ferraro himself and a overview of his cartoons. So that's Bizarro and Other Strange Manifestations of the Art of Dan Ferraro. There's the other Claire Breccia book, and that's called More Frustration. It's, from a female cartoonist's perspective. There's a Leo Baxendale one. He invented the Backstreet Kids, the Bash Street Kids, and also Minnie the Minx. And this is his comic graphic novel thing. It's really mad, actually. It's really weird. So there we go. A thrup. I really like these books. There's an Italian cartoonist called Mordillo, and I really, really like him. And I just love the way he draws. I don't know. I might do one specially on him. I don't know. But yeah, there's Opus 1. There's Opus 2. And the Mordillo Show. That's that one. The Mordillo Show. So there we are. It's Mordillo. If I find anything by him, I'll get it. But those are the 3 I've got so far. These are the rest of the Far Side ones. So there's the one-off thing he did called There's a Hair in My Dirt. The Gary Larson wrote that. The Prehistory is a really good book to get if you've got a few of his books and you want to get something, because it's all about Gary Larson as much as about anything else. It's really good. And then you've got the galleries. So you've got Far Side Gallery 5, Far Side Gallery 4, Far Side Gallery 3, Far Side Gallery 2, and the first collection, the Far Side Gallery. So all of those 5 books make up pretty much everything he's done. So there we are. So moving on to Sergio Aragonés. He's a great cartoonist from Mad Magazine, and there's a book here called Action Speak, which is really cool. I'm very pleased to get that. And there's a book that's kind of linked called Louder Than Words. It's a bit of a comic, really, more than a book, but Louder Than Words. And then there's a special thing he did called Day of the Dead. And then the rest of this stuff is related to Gru the Wanderer. So Gru the Wanderer is a character that he made. I used to have loads of Gru comics, and then I got rid of them. Right, okay, so I'm going to finish this video with the big man. The man that I'll probably do a separate video about him. I want to read his biography here before I do that. is Charles Addams. So the world of Charles Addams here is one of my favourite books. I absolutely love it. If you don't know who he is, you might recognise his most famous creation, the Addams Family. I absolutely love Charles Addams so much. So this is a big collection of his stuff, and it's got like some really good things about him as well. But then you've got some really rare books here. Again, I bought that in Italy. I think, or was it Spain? Spain. Yeah, so that's a Addams Family collection from Spain. This was the first book I ever bought about the Addams Family, so I bought that. I was a big fan of the series, so I had a book about the series, and that told me about Charles Addams. So then I found this in a bookshop, bought it, and I was about 16 or 17 when I bought this, and never looked back. But his books are so rare, they're so hard to find. So there's the Half-Baked Cookbook. There's 2 versions of Happily Ever After. I didn't realise I already had it, but I got a softback and a hardback. So, Happily Ever After. These 2 are really rare and really expensive, and I'm so pleased to have found them. Favourite Haunts and Creature Comforts. Oh yeah, there's the punchline. And 2 more to finish. We've got Charles Addams. This is really recently published, actually. Charles Addams' books about New York, called Adam's Apple. And in this one, which I keep sealed, it's really rare, it's called Black Mariah. There's no dust jacket on this one, but yeah, Black Mariah, Charles Addams. If I find anything rare, I'll have it. So there we are. I think that's it. That's my Cartoonist collection. Please comment below if you find it interesting. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye. Turns out I forgot one, didn't I? But this is definitely cartoons. These are cartoons he's done for this particular collection. And he's a cartoonist for the New Yorker, Will McPhail, and it's called Love and Vermin. It's fantastic. It's a really good book. So anyway, thanks a lot. Bye. I know where you're going, and I won't follow you through. You just sit there laughing. We're all under your